Hello, I'm back.
Audio. Or Jeff's, actually. I can hear you guys perfectly fine in Discord, but your Discord's not getting picked up for your stream.
We're on couch 2.
Yeah, your Discord audio is supposed to go through your stream off.
Yeah, I've got it supposedly coming through my stream. Jeff, can you say something really quickly?
Hello?
Okay, well, it's definitely coming through the stream according to this. It may have been just too low, but you've got my mic audio now, too.
There we go. Now it sounds like it's working. I think we're good.
Okay, sorry.
You got both of us?
My mic was muted, and that's my fault.
Corndan says, auth, boost yourself too. And do you all hear me as well?
I boost myself considerably, but I can put a filter on it to make it even louder. Let me do that really quickly, and then we'll go. Here you go. You should be getting me considerably louder now. That sounds about good.
Alright, and is this better, Bersentia?
Yeah, I think they've got us now. Sorry. Sound is hard, okay? Alright, so, really quickly, this is Ye Xian Zong, the story of the Wizard of Oz. A lot of the assets from this game are borrowed from many other games, so if you see something you recognize, right now we're looking to you to shout it out, because I want to document every game that this game borrowed from. Not every single asset is borrowed, but Jeff said I wasn't allowed to say plagiarized, so I'm not saying plagiarized anymore. Except for them.
Let's call it Weixingized.
Yeah. So this is a Weixing game. It's a very popular slash famous slash well-known bootleg company. I mean, 6 people worked on this game. I guess that's enough for a company.
It is in fact formally a company limited. It had a legal existence.
So we're going to jump right in. The very first thing I'm going to do is set the game to easy mode. All easy mode changes is the amount of damage you take. So I'm going to use that to be able to tank most hits. I'm also going to ditch my skateboard, but not the ability to skateboard.
And we're playing on easy because Auth is a cowardly lion.
That's true. I am.
Well, not yet, but we'll be getting there.
So this power squat is actually not just swag, it's actually very useful because there's a spot coming up in just a second where the game would take my skateboard from me. It would take it from me right here. But by not having a skateboard anymore, joke's on you, you can't take it from me. So I still have the ability to go very fast with a skateboard. And we're going to collect our first partner, the Scarecrow, right now. This jump's a little tricky. And now we have the ability to change between characters. If you're at all familiar with that really good game on the SNES, The Wizard of Oz, this is very similar to that one in that I can change to any partner that I found. The Scarecrow is kind of tanky, and also he has this sort of radial attack around him, so he's very useful for a while.
You could say he's a useful idiot.
Yeah, I'm gonna save right now. I'm gonna save at the beginning of every single level because also, like that very good Super Nintendo version of this game, if a character dies at any point, they're dead forever. And so all of the characters are important and necessary for me to complete this game, it turns out. So if I lose any of them at any point, I'm going to reload my save. It's not a save state in the sense that I can just pick up from exactly where I left off. I always have to go back to the beginning of the level that I loaded in, but it's at least a safety net. What happens if everybody dies? You game over and the game is over.
You never go home to Kansas. You just die.
Dorothy isn't particularly useful most of the time because when she gets hit, she gets stunned for quite a while. But what's really nice about Dorothy is that she throws 3 knives, not just one attack, she throws 3 knives. And if you can land all of those simultaneously, they all count. So...
It's kind of like a Contra thing going on there.
Yeah, the spread shot, very similar to Contra. I think also some of the sound effects in this game are borrowed from Contra, so... You know, if you can say nothing else, you can say that they have good taste in what they borrowed from. No, save, because I just realized I hadn't saved in this level yet. The most shameful thing that could happen to us is we'll have to redo a level because I'll forget to save in the next one. So I'm going to try to make that not happen. There's no shame, at least as far as I'm concerned, in dying in a level and having to redo it because this game is incredibly cruel. But I will feel a little down on myself if I have to redo a level because I forgot to save.
It is cruel, and the controls are horrible, and particularly when you're using the skateboard. I don't know how clear it is to chat, because Auth is actually pretty decent at this game, just how hard it is to control. When people were doing this blind for Kuso Grand this year, the skateboard obviously presented an interesting strategic choice for them because you'd go a lot faster, but it was much riskier. It's no sweat for our boy authorblues.
No. They place a lot of enemies in this level right over pits as well, so it's very easy to get knocked directly into a pit. So I have to be especially cautious in this level, perhaps more than any other level. In later levels, we'll be using the Cowardly Lion because he's very fast, because he's Simba from The Lion King. But the Scarecrow is very slow, and so getting hit is almost certain doom if you're jumping over pits. So this is a very common level for me to have to redo. You know, you get very close to the end and then you die with the Scarecrow, and it's like, well, let's round 2. This is also an extremely long level, so dying on it is very frustrating.
What else about this game is very frustrating?
Every time you jump, you take fall stun when you touch the ground again, which means you're kind of punished for jumping at all, which, if you're trying to optimize this as a speedrun, makes you suddenly try to jump a lot less or jump in less convenient ways, and so it's just way more treacherous than it needs to be. Let's see. The pickups that you get in this game, based on what symbol they are either health, magic power, strength, or defense. And as far as I can tell just from casual observation, I don't think that the attack and defense actually do anything, so half of the power-ups are useless. Let's see. The fact that you just fall straight down anytime you take damage can be pretty tough. I'm actually pretty close to the end of this level. Doing this one shot would be really nice. Unfortunately, this is the most treacherous part of the whole level right here.
So y'all might notice that there's no HUD, which is understandable because making one is a lot of work.
Just
and
survive.
Why would you? Because who needs to know how much health they have at a quick glance? You can, however, go to the menu and see all of your statistics, which obviously takes a little bit of time, so we're not going to do right now, but you do have numerical values for your health, defense, and magic.
So this is another case of where Dorothy is the fastest choice to attack, but she takes a lot of, she takes a really long, like, stun when she gets hit, so I'm swapping characters to get rid of that stun. It's effective enough. And switching right back to the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow is technically weaker, but he one-shots enemies when he becomes in range of them. None of the enemies have enough health in order for his weaker attack to really matter. And so he becomes the tank of this game. As you can see, I'm not really paying a ton of attention to how much damage I'm taking, which means by the time we get to the end of the game, he is paper thin. But we'll have other enemies to spread that damage over very soon, or other characters to spread that damage over very soon.
Yeah, and don't forget to save.
Oh, yeah, I haven't saved in quite a while. That's a good point. Let's just do it right now while I'm thinking about it. I actually had my chat yelling at me every level to save when I was doing speedruns of this because I would forget. So I just told them, beginning of every level, yell at me to save. And so it became this sort of thing. At the beginning of every level, they would just start screaming at me. So we've encountered Simba now, which is really nice. Simba's very fast, and also his attack is jumping on things' heads. Sorry, Cowardly Lion, my mistake.
Are you calling Simba cowardly?
I would never do that. Didn't you see the way he killed Scarface? Obviously, this level is... all of the assets from it are borrowed from Cool Spot for the SNES, which is my favorite. Oh, I fell in the hole. Good. Good.
That's why it's a good idea to save.
I did save. I was ready for this.
Yeah.
That being my first death is actually pretty good. I've gone through several levels already that are my usual first death spots. So believe it or not, I'm actually undeservedly proud of myself. Oh God, I thought I was gonna get it again the exact same way. Leave me alone. All right, now we're about to fight Bowser Jr.
See, you say things like that, and this is the kind of game where people might actually believe that they literally put Bowser Jr. in here.
I think this is literally Bowser Jr. That's my current opinion. Unless someone can tell me what game this comes from, it looks like Bowser Jr. That was actually a pretty good fight.
Alright, well, at least they put an apple on his head.
Yeah, they wanted to mix it up a little bit. Alright, so we're doing pretty well. I don't know where all the assets from this come from. I think it's probably more Chippendale stuff. I don't know where that sausage guy came from, though. Maybe... I think that might be one of the Panic Restaurant contributions.
I know the pickles from Panic Restaurant. So this ice level, are we getting ice physics?
No, it's still just the normal physics. The only thing is that these orange blocks, they fall out from under you, so it's very easy to mess up for good. And also, when they fall, they hurt you if they're above you, so you have to be really mindful of your jumps if you know that there's the colored blocks above you. They've got like a green hue to them. You can maybe just barely make it out. This is probably the most temperamental boss fight. This is the fastest way to do it, is to attack him from above. If he damages me while I'm above him, it's very possible that I will be standing over a pit at that moment, so...
And this is your periodic reminder to save.
Hey, if I haven't saved in a while, maybe now would be a good time to do it. I don't know.
Great to have 800 people reminding you to save.
It is. So we got a little sequence break here. You're supposed to ride a ice block down to the bottom, but I can just fall down and then you're supposed to ride this across as enemies are coming for you, but I'm just gonna jump across the water while dealing with a lot of lag.
So what game did they borrow the lag from? Or is that just an in-house way to ask that?
This was the change some of the answers so it's not obvious portion of the copying. Now we fight obviously the big dragon. It's actually faster to fight this guy with Dorothy, but the thing is that Dorothy can take a lot of damage and I'm relatively safe up here, so I'm going to take the slightly slower option. That's my plan. Alright, so this level is terrifying, so you don't have to remind me to say, but I'll remember. These flying monkeys, you can't hurt them, you can only sort of annoy them to go away. If they grab you, they sort of decide your fate. It could be something harmless, like picking you up and doing a little bit of damage and dropping you again. It could also be something like flying to the bottom of the screen and just dropping you off the bottom. We're going to Danger Castle, by the way. The posted signage may have given that away, but I do want to make sure we're aware of that. Flying monkey is only more frustrating here because now everything's a pit, so when he picks me up and drops me, that might also be death. We're going to the castle, by the way. Going to Danger Castle, to Danger Castle, to Castle, to Danger Castle. It's a little song. I wrote it for you to listen to. And so this is the final level coming up. This level's all fine and good. The level before it's actually way more treacherous. The issue with this level is that the final boss is particularly special because every boss so far has more or less had sort of a correct way to fight it. Like if you can figure out the strats for the boss, it's not too hard. This boss, however, is not susceptible to any of the abilities that any of my characters have, and so this whole game I've been trying to be mindful of collecting pickups if they were magic, because the only thing that does consistent damage against the final boss is magic.
You'd expect, you know, magic to be powerful in the land of wizards.
I guess that's fair.
And ruled by a wizard. Even if he's just a short man behind a curtain.
He's doing his best. Alright, so here's the Wicked Witch, so we're gonna fight the Wicked Witch. She says, "Give me those shoes!"
Excuse me, it's Alphaba?
That's correct. Alright, so I'm going to use my magic abilities. Every amount of magic I've collected so far, I'm going to go ahead and burn it right now to try to deal as much damage as I can to this guy. So Lion's out. Let's use some Dorothy's I'm sorry, she was dead? Wow, she was a lot lower on health than you would suspect. Alright, looks like we're doing the last level again.
It was a good level.
I just want to show it off again.
Good call.
What am I taking damage to? What is happening right now? Hey, game! Hey, game! Stop! Alright, you know what? I wasn't sure what was happening there, but what I was sure of is that I did not want to participate in it anymore. I made a calculated decision to no longer play those reindeer games. Punishment for save scumming, you're absolutely right. The game has seen through my clever disguise.
I mean, if you're gonna try invisible skateboard, it's gonna have invisible damage.
Come on, Game, just let's, hey, you and me, Game, let's see the end of this, all right?
I think when speedrunners talk about breaking games, this is not exactly what they mean.
He's doing it right now. The flying monkey did pick me up. I just want you to know that this went exactly the way I expected it to.
So we needed to show that off.
Leave me alone, you jerk. God, this game is buck wild. This is actually a pretty okay run, better than I deserve for sure. But no good deed goes unpunished. No, please don't die. All right, we're gonna try one more time. This time maybe I'll be a little more careful with Dorothy. Seems like she was ill-suited to survive these attacks.
It's too bad there's no Toto. I feel like Toto would be really useful here.
Yeah. They should have put Toto in instead of the Cowardly Lion. I mean, what's Simba even doing here? Alright, so we're burning everyone's magic. And now we're... Oh, by the way, I just discovered, and Jeff can attest to this, I just discovered today that you can angle the Tin Man shots, which is going to make this fight less crappy.
Yeah, apparently if you let the demo play for long enough, it actually shows you some pretty neat strats.
That fight went more smoothly than it usually does. No more saving needed, we just win.
Yay!
You might have thought that that run went a little bit off the rails at the end, and I can see why you would think that, but honestly, this run went way better than I deserve. I think my best run from last night when I was derusting was 24 minutes, so to get under 20 is good. It's good. My estimate was 25, I got 24, and that's it. Now Joe Cocker gives everyone a spoonful of medicine. Found the wizard to help them out. He gave the lion fruit juice that produced courage. He gave Scarecrow a bag of pins and sawdust to sharpen his wits, and gave Tin Man a cloth heart. He prepared a hot air balloon for Dorothy. Dorothy and Toto returned home to Kansas and lived happily ever after. And now is a list of people you can blame for this game. Actually, this game is incredibly faithful to the book. My favorite was the scene where Dorothy rode a skateboard through Agrabah. That was one of my favorite scenes from the books. If you've never read the books, you don't know what you're missing out on.
From the original or the extended universe?
I guess it's the extended universe after, what, L. Frank Baum's death?
Yeah.
And that's Ye Xian Zong. Thanks for watching. Oh, sorry, that was The Wizard of Oz. Thanks for watching. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Off. And for everybody in chat that contributed thoughts, I've made notes of all of them. Thank you so much.
Take it easy. Next up, I think we've got We've got Drex playing Pugsy, so that should be a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna talk for him, so. Bye!